So I did a tutorial recently on how to animate on a KML route within Google Earth Studio. Now if you want to take this a step further by applying some effects within After Effects to this line, for instance a glow effect, you need a way to separate it from the map animation that you have within Google Earth Studio. Now unfortunately there's no inbuilt way to do this. So if anyone from Google is watching, then an update allowing us to render out a transparent video with just the KML line with an alpha layer, that would be fantastic, by the way. But while that doesn't exist, I'll show you a quick workaround I found. So in my last video, I touched briefly on a technique where basically you render off two videos, one without the KML and then one with the KML, which you sit on top. So you can turn it off and on like this. And then you use a difference matte effect to basically remove any differences from the layer below, leaving just the line. But it can, in some circumstances, leave some certain artifacting. So I want to show you another technique which I found is a bit more effective. So we're going to go over into a free program called Google Earth Pro. If you don't have it, I'll link it down in the description. And we're going to bring in that KML file that we're working with. So here it is there. Now is what we're then going to do is we're going to get this tool here and we're going to draw a large area around it. Now just make sure that this area covers basically the horizon that you may be looking at. We're then going to select that shape we've made. We're going to come to Properties, select Style and Color. Now we don't really want a width, so we're going to get rid of that. And what we want to do is we want to make the color of this something bright and quite opposite to the colour of the main KML that we want to isolate. So like red, that will do. Hit OK. And then we're going to export this. So there, save place as, make sure it's a KML mask, like that. We'll then go back over into Google Earth and we're going to import this from the computer. Now for some reason this has covered up our previous line, so I'm just going to remove that and then re-import it. And there we go, it's sat on top. I'm just going to get rid of those end pins. Now before we render that out, just one last thing we're going to do. We're just going to come to Add Attributes, 3D Buildings, and we're going to make sure that that's hidden. Now if you want a separate tutorial on how to render out just the 3D buildings so that you can layer that back on top, then I'll link to another tutorial I made down in the description and at the end. So we have our KMLs here now. So we're now going to render out whatever animation it is that we'd made before with the KMLs on top. And then we're going to disable them and we're going to render a second animation with just this base map here. So we now have both of those rendered out. So similar to the first technique, we're going to bring them over into After Effects. And then you see on top we've got the both KML routes, including this KML mask, and then down on the bottom we've got the base map. So what we're going to do is we're going to select this top video with the KMLs on it. We're going to apply an effect called Color Key. We're going to use this pipette dropper tool to take the color here. Now we're just going to hit the isolate so we can see what's going on, and we're going to bump up the color tolerance until everything is gone. Except the line that we want. Now it's what we can also do, because you see it's got a slight red border there, we can either keep going with the color tolerance until that's gone, or we can apply a fill effect to this. And then one last thing, we can just mask off that Google Earth logo like that. It'll still be visible underneath. So there we have this isolated line for you to do with whatever we want, be it to draw on with a mask. If you want to know how to do that, look at my other tutorial, or we can apply a glow effect to it like this. So that's the tutorial. If you've got any questions, just pop them down in the comments. And if you want to discuss a map project with me, then there's a Google form in the description. Thanks.